Hi everybody! So I am going to do a palette bingo because I really enjoy doing them, and honestly I just need to sit down and kind of force some inspiration because I'm struggling right now. So I was passed on a Urban Decay Wired palette. So this is the palette that replaced the electric palette, so there's a lot of similar shades to the electric palette in here. If you've watched my channel and even other palette bingos, you will know that I was a huge fan of the electric palette, and the electric palette is really what kind of got me into colorful eyeshadows. So this is what the palette looks like. It is 10 fairly bold shades. Suppose you could count the white. So I'm going to choose 4 shades randomly for my palette bingo. I always go with 4 instead of 5, which is sort of the traditional palette bingo numbers. 5 just is usually too much for my eye space. 4 usually works really well. Okay, so I have my random number generator minimum set to 1 and the maximum is 10. I'm going to attempt to shake it like I've done before, but I think the first one you have to like actually manually click. So we have 6. So the 6th shade is this shade here called Fluorescent. So this is a very pretty blue shade, cyan. It did make me think of Among Us immediately when I looked at it. I've probably been playing that game too much. It's like the good distraction right now. Shadow 2 is number 9, and 9 is Switch. So this is going to be my first experience using this palette as well. So we have an orange. I'm not prepared at all. Okay, next shadow is number 5. So 5 is Savage, which is the pink shade, which I remember the pink from the electric palette, which was also called Savage. So we got some bold choices here, and the last shadow that I'm going to pick, we have number 3, and number 3 is Shock. So Shock is the purple shadow right here. These are the 4 shadows I'm going to be using. I will say I'm not, well, I could do sort of like a sunsetty, sunrise kind of thing. That's what I immediately go to. Ooh, that pink has really sort of stained my finger. It does say that some of them are for the eyes and some are just for face and body. The same sort of thing with the electric palette. There are certain like pigments in there that aren't approved for use around the eyes in the US, but they are approved in other places. It's really weird how rules are. I have a little bit of irritation around my eye, actually on my eye in general. My psoriasis has made a return onto my eyelids, which I had not seen for like 10 years. And it's not very pleasant. It also kind of seems to be appearing on the outer corner of this eye, which is weird because I have had some irritation on that eye before, and it is looking similar too, but I've never had psoriasis there. So I guess there's a first time for everything. It's, I know, a combination of like the temperature, the heat changes, stress. This spot on my forehead has been gone for the longest time, which was a spot that I've been dealing with for many years. And now I was kind of feeling kind of good with that being gone. And then of course it was like really bad on my eyelids. So it's not anything to do with any products I've been using. It really is just a skin thing. So just thought I'd mention that. I'm gonna go right into Shock, I think, first. Yeah, I just haven't been feeling very inspired recently. I don't know, Halloween kind of takes me out of it because I feel like I kind of intentionally avoid some stuff when Halloween, like makeup and things are happening because, as I mentioned a couple times, I really have a fear of spiders, and a lot of people either wear spider-related things, or there's a lot of like spider, even like makeup themes, or people are like drawing little spiders on their faces, and I can't be a part of any of that. So I've been kind of avoiding it a little bit and taking myself out of it, and I was feeling, I had like a few moments of like real high bursts of inspiration, I'll say, and I guess the actual like execution of them just didn't live up to what I thought it was going to be. And sometimes I'm just better at planning things than actually following through on them, or that's how it feels, or I get like really excited to do something and then it just, you know, it doesn't end up working the way that I want it to, or people just aren't as into it as I thought they were going to be. Like when I did my kind of Halloween makeup, and it's funny because so many people were like, we want to see more Halloween themes, but it's like my least watched videos are actually like makeup application videos, but I love doing them. They're fun. I love actually kind of playing with makeup, although it's always different for me because I'm not used to doing my makeup in this kind of setup, like where I'm doing like my filming. I normally just do my makeup in my bathroom, and it's a completely different process that you can't really show, like, because I would listen to music and I would take sort of breaks and maybe like scroll through something or watch a video or something, and the process of creating a look sometimes, if it's anything that's more detailed, is sometimes time consuming, but also involves some things that could involve copyright, I guess. So this is just pink and purple. I'm not super impressed. I definitely think my Viseart and my Colored Rain shadows are better, but it's kind of nice revisiting the Urban Decay world again, because I was so big into Urban Decay before. I really just like purple and pink together. Like, it's just such a fun kind of hazy, it reminds me of those sunsets, those very specific sunsets with those very specific colors, and it just, I'm very inspired by nature, and I love when I can get those sort of same sort of tones and feelings, and I love things to be kind of hazy. I'm going to take a little bit of the orange now. It's powdery, so I kind of have to keep tapping. The orange is more just in the inner and up into the brows a little bit. Going for some sort of soft color. It's fun. I really just, like, I wanted an excuse to kind of play with makeup a little bit, so that's why I thought a palette bingo would be fun. Gets me out of my head a little bit as well, because it's easy to overthink things, and sometimes I'm almost over-inspired. I'm overstimulated, and then I don't know what to do, and I kind of shut down. So sometimes there might be like 10 different makeup looks I want to use, or like 10 different colors or something, and it's so much that I can't just focus on one thing. It's why I like random things sometimes. Like, I like controlled random choices, if that makes any sense. But that's why I like palette bingos and like random makeup challenges, just because it's like, I know I'm using one specific thing, I know the things I will be choosing is from this one thing, and it's a lot easier for my mind to make it happen. So we're gonna take fluorescent now. It's not even very fluorescent, is it? I don't like this blue shade, but that's part of the palette bingo. So I already have my makeup on, but I said I kind of already told myself I was going to do the tape method as well, again, just to make it easier on me, since I'm having such a struggle of a time trying to get inspiration. I had such a really cool list of video ideas. It's just so easy for me to talk myself out of doing things, or if like one video doesn't do very well, I'm just like, done, not gonna do any more. It's not the point of it. I need to just keep reminding myself. So I would really, really love to hear what kind of videos you would like to watch. Anything that would inspire you or interest you, if I can incorporate some of that stuff into what I'm already doing. This blue is really lackluster, isn't it? I keep applying and applying and applying, and it's just not, it's not doing much of anything. Sad. Womp womp. But yeah, so if you have any ideas, suggestions, like, some of the most fun I've had doing videos is like videos that were recommended by like one person, and even if they didn't get a lot of views, I knew that at least that one person was really excited to watch it. And sometimes that's more important to me, because I feel like I do have a connection with the people who watch my channel and who hang out here and the people I talk to. I feel like it is different than maybe other people who create content and do things, or even what kind of people recommend doing, but just because I really do feel like I have genuine connections with people. I genuinely like talking to people. I like hearing about people's lives and what's happening and you know, what's going on. And if somebody's having a bad day and I can, you know, make the slightest difference by providing them with a video that they could enjoy watching, then I would love to do it. That blue is awful. Very, very awful. I feel like I need to do something else with that blue because it's just really sad. Maybe I'll put a little bit in my eyebrows. It's not a very exciting blue color, and it's also not showing up very well. Like I feel like I get a lot of pigment on the brush, but then it's not showing up at all. Kind of sad. The orange and the pink have been really nice though, and the purple. I really like those combinations of colors. We're just gonna make it a little bit more orange. I probably didn't really need the tape, but it is just a crutch for when I'm overstimulated. I'm gonna take a little bit of the white, which is called Glitch. Well, that's pretty good white. I wonder if I can mix the white with the blue a little bit. See what comes of that. So I just am kind of mixing it back and forth in the pan. Softening everything. We're just going to take the white and a fluffy brush. Yeah, I'm totally going to put on a little bit of like a star glitter. I have some stars from MAC, and then I have these little like stars and moons, which might be pretty cool. Let's put some mascara on. Yeah. I don't know if I should do the glitter or the lashes. Okay, so I put lash glue on the lashes, and I have these little dream, these pretty little stars and moons, and I think that I will use some of those to kind of emphasize. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do for blush, but I think I will take a mix of the orange and the pink. We'll see if that will... My pink might be a little too much, but wait a second. That's why we have a white. So I'm just using like an eyeshadow brush to like dot it on my face. And we'll see if it will blend. It's pigment, so I'm not quite sure how well it will work. Not great. Not great. It's mostly the pink color. It was pretty on the eyes, but not so great on the face. It's just catching onto my face and it's not blending very well, which isn't really a surprise. I haven't had the best luck using Urban Decay shadows as blushes in the past. I don't have my foundation brush in front of me, so I'm just going to use my finger a little bit to kind of tap away. I'll take a little bit of, so then I'm going to take a little bit of the white for the inner corner a little bit. It's just a matte white, so it's not like a iridescent thing, but I have glitter, so I'll probably end up using glitter for more of like a highlight effect. I'm going to try these lashes. So these are Bold Face Beauty lashes. I believe that's the Alter Ego lashes. They're very large and fluffy lashes, and I do intentionally do this. Sometimes people be like, oh, you covered it up. You covered up your look with the lashes. It's like, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of the thing. So I put little stars in the inner corner with some of like the little extra glitter pieces. It's kind of like stardust. Okay, so I changed my mind and just ended up putting on a whole bunch of glitter because I just couldn't be bothered trying to separate it anymore between the stars and the moons. It's all together in one thing anyway, so I just decided to go for it, just leaving like a little bit of a space in the middle. I'm gonna try and get a little bit more of that blue. Gonna even just bring that blue down a little bit more. Not in any specific way, just even a little bit messy. And then I have this lip gloss. This is sort of like a kind of a holographic lip gloss from Incredible. One last final touch. This is a highlighter from Kaleidos. This is Moon Cruiser. I have not used this yet. I have not even opened it. Swatched it, touched it. I'm very excited. I thought it was kind of appropriate because this is Moon Cruiser. It's a space age highlight. I kind of thought that it went with the whole theme. Right on top of the glitter as well. And then I'm just going to take a tiny, tiny little bit. Brow bone. And on top of that glitter in the inner corner. There we have it. There is my sort of space agey glittery look. I could totally go with a dark lip, but there's nothing that's really speaking to me right now. I might play around with a couple other things and see if something else works. But for right now, this is it for my palette bingo with the Urban Decay Wired palette. Not as impressed as I was with the electric palette, but then the electric palette was also sort of like my gateway into colorful shadows, so I'd probably feel very differently about that as well now too, so who's to say. But I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. Let me know if you'd like to see more looks with the Wired palette. Let me know if you'd like to see any specific videos at all. Please let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.